We're sitting here today with another puzzling Ravens loss in a game. Once again, they were favored in a game that many believe they should have won, but they found a way to lose. They did everything they could to give the game away once again, and to the Pittsburgh Steelers once again. This has been a trend really for the past, I want to say, the better part of 3 or 4 games now, where the Ravens were, in my opinion, clearly the better team. Like, take bias out of it. Just honestly look at the team as a whole versus the Pittsburgh Steelers and tell me that the Ravens are more talented. But nonetheless, we're sitting here. Ravens as well lose 16-18 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers failed to get into the end zone. This is not a day where I'm going to get on the defense because I thought they did a phenomenal job. They stopped an offense that was really clicking the past 3 to 4 weeks with Russell Wilson at the helm, and kept them out of the end zone. They prevented them from scoring a touchdown. They had to win with 6 field goals. The offense did not do their part. They did not get off of the team playing, in my opinion. It started off first series, Derrick Henry, first time fumbling in over 500 games. And, of course, this is the game where it happens against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then, look, credit to the Steelers defense. They created turnovers. They did what they do, and they are the signature of the Pittsburgh Steelers, why they win games, in my opinion. It's not their offense. It's really been TJ Watt and this incredible defense. Fumble on Derrick Henry, Patrick Queen stripping Isaiah Likely late in the first half to give him another 3 points. An incredible interception by this rookie that they drafted. I can't remember his name right now, out of NC State. Made a hell of a play. I mean, Lamar's throw to Justice Hill was on point. Justice Hill had the ball in his possession as he was going down, but somehow this kid just made an unbelievable play for an interception. And you just give your credit to Mike Tomlin and just the incredible coaching job that he does year in and year out, proving that he is really, I think, outside of Andy Reid, probably the best coach in football. He's doing so much more with so much less than other coaches have. Like, imagine if he had Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he probably have a couple more Super Bowls in his trophy case there. But focusing on the Ravens, you scratch your head and you just wonder, like, what happens to this team when it comes to certain games, especially against the Steelers, because let's call it what it is. The Ravens have not held up their end of the bargain with this rivalry as of late. The Steelers have won the last 8 of 9 games. Now, granted, there were a couple of games where the starters did not play because they were resting their starters for the playoffs. But nonetheless, the record is what it says. I don't believe that the Steelers are a better team than the Ravens, even after what I've seen. Offensively, yeah, you got George Pickens there. You got a decent running game with Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. But you can't tell me that this Ravens offense is definitely not better than the Steelers. They just didn't show up. Once again, we saw guys dropping passes. We saw Lamar scrambling for his life, trying to make a play, hits Zay Flowers right in his chest, bounces off his helmet, drop. Derrick Henry breaks off a couple of good runs. Oh, we have to bring it back because Ronnie Stanley had a holding call, or Patrick McCarry had another ineligible man downfield call. Patrick McCarry had 4 penalties by himself. So you add that with 3 turnovers, Justin Tucker doing something that I've never seen him do ever, really, like missing back-to-back field goals in one game. I've just never seen that from him. Like, I tried to just kind of downplay Justin Tucker's struggles, saying like, okay, maybe he is starting to decline, but he deserves to decline because of all the games that he saved the Ravens. It's looking bad. Like, I don't believe that Tucker doesn't have the leg anymore to make field goals. He definitely does. It's just, I think at this point it's mental. And he's really going to have to figure it out very, very soon, because when you look at the final score, it's like, well, hey, what if Justin Tucker had made 2 of those field goals? 6 points right there. But then again, we look at the turnovers. Derrick Henry fumbles, 3 points. Isaiah Likely fumbles up before the half's over, field goal. Turnover, that guy making a crazy interception, field goal. So that's 9 points right there that you gave the Steelers. And then you add the 6 points that you left on the field with Tucker, there's the game. I said going into this game that turnovers were going to be the biggest thing for the Ravens if they were going to win. You can't give the Steelers offense life. You have to make them drive down the field and make them score. But you didn't do that. You turned the ball over. You allowed this defense to control everything, just out-physical you and out-tough you, quite frankly. and you put your defense in a very difficult situation. But again, as bad as this defense has been all season long, they showed up. I thought they played really, really well. I was impressed with Ardarius Washington at the free safety position. It's just been said that he's going to be staying there moving forward, which I think is a good idea. I think it's really helped this defense. Kyle Hamilton's been battling out with injuries. He's been in and out of the lineup, really trying to stay in there. We saw Roquan Smith leave the game with a hamstring injury, so that's definitely a big concern for this Ravens defense. But good news, Tre'Davious White, the new addition that the Ravens acquired during the trade deadline, really did a great job in those goal lines pass attempts going to George Pickens, where it looked like, okay, here we go again. George Pickens is going to make another spectacular catch in the end zone off of a Russell Wilson moonball. But Tre'Davious White really held his own. It was unexpected. I didn't really know what to expect from Tre'Davious White at this point, given his injury history. But he came in, did a decent job, I feel like. So shout out to the Ravens defense. They really held it down, in my opinion, with how bad this offense was and how they didn't show up. And then the 2-point conversion. Look, I don't know why Derrick Henry wasn't in the game. I think that the smart thing to do, Todd Monken, would probably be to put Derrick Henry at least in the game. It doesn't mean you have to hand him the football, but having him out there makes the defense think about it at the very least. It's like, okay, Derrick Henry's in there. We're probably going to play a different defense as opposed to maybe when Justice Hill's in there. But even so, you saw a video where it looked like there was confusion at the line from the beginning between Isaiah Likely and Nelson Aguilar. And Lamar's running a quarterback run to the left. All the receivers went the opposite direction. I think maybe they ran the play wrong, but there's not much that Lamar could have done there other than just try to chuck it up in the air and hopefully just someone could come down with it. This time, that magic just couldn't happen. But even so, you're down 2 at this point. You still got a chance to get the ball back. The defense had to get one more stop for you, but Justin Fields came in and you kind of knew what was coming, but Ravens were unable to stop it. Najee Harris runs up the middle and kind of ices the game for it. But Steelers fans are going to talk their trash and like as they should. I mean, look, you got it done. We can't really say much, when you get it done and the other team doesn't. But I know from an unbiased perspective, just watching football from the outside looking in, the Ravens are a better team than this. But this is multiple times where we ESPN and the analysts have been asking questions about how concerned they are with the Chiefs with how they've been winning. Say what you want. I mean, the Chiefs are doing what they can to figure out how to win the game. Teams like the Baltimore Ravens are figuring out how to lose the game. Do everything you can to lose to teams that you are better than. So, with all that being said, I say this not as a Ravens fan, but just someone from the outside looking in, looking at this team from a logic perspective over emotion. I'm starting to wonder how we can really be serious when it comes to talking about the Ravens as a Super Bowl contender. How can we take you serious when you don't use your weapons like Derrick Henry when you really are supposed to? And it's been proven that the more Henry runs, the better chance you have of winning versus throwing the ball 30 to 40 times. Your defense has been suspect the entire season. I mean, last Sunday was a pretty good game, but by and large, they've been bad. And you just continue to find ways to lose against mediocre teams that aren't as good as you. Whereas the better teams, the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, they found ways to win. How can we seriously put you in that category? The Pittsburgh Steelers finding ways to win. So how can we seriously put the Ravens as a Super Bowl contender? I believe in Lamar Jackson. There's no doubt about that. I believe in Derrick Henry, but the rest of the team, it's like you just start to wonder, like, can we really take them serious?